Coming up on this special edition of GCTV, we're broadcasting from Orlando, Florida. This show is jam-packed with content that was created for you within a day. You'll see some familiar GC reporters along with fresh faces from across the nation, so stay tuned.
Hello GC, your little GCTV crew is down here in sunny Orlando to bring you this special edition. We arrived here just in time for an historic event. The Space Shuttle Discovery is making its final landing. The landing is taking place as we speak, and we can hear the booms as it travels in Mach speeds over our heads. Some of the girls weren't ready.
With 39 missions, a year worth of time in space, and 5,830 times around the Earth, the Discovery moved man's exploration of space. In honor of this impressive resume, we wanted to discover what makes people here on Earth get up and move. If you're like me, the first thing that comes to mind is the smell that fills your nostrils first thing in the morning.
Every day, millions of people come to places like Starbucks in order to get themselves up and going. For many people, pick-me-ups such as coffee, sodas, energy drinks, and caffeinated shots have become a part of their everyday life.
I drink coffee every day, normally in the mornings, and I drink a good mugful or 16 ounces of coffee.
About 90% of Americans consume caffeine in one form or another every single day. From Rockstar to Red Bull, there are many energy drinks to choose from, but there are also many varieties of soda.
I don't really like coffee because it tastes really bitter, and energy drinks, I'm kind of scared to drink them because I've heard really bad things about them, so I just drink Cokes.
32% of workers say they depend on coffee to make it through their day.
On the days when I'm attending meetings, and then I probably drink coffee periodically all day.
Caffeine only takes 15 to 20 minutes to get into your bloodstream and lasts for 3.5 hours.
Whether it's coffee or soda, you're sure to find someone with some sort of caffeine in their hand. Live from Orlando for GCTV, I'm Rachel McCracken.
Well, personally, I drink at least one cup of coffee every morning. It's really great when I get to come to places like this where I can visit an actual coffee shop in a big city.
Coming to a city is no easy task when you have to deal with the bustle of air travel. Our crew got more than one dirty look when we tried to take all our cameras to security. Most people don't have to carry equipment through, but some are taking steps to reduce their luggage and have to carry as little as possible.
The art of saving money. In the past few years, this has almost become a sixth sense to most. People have discovered thousands of unique ways to keep their wallet full. Although some of these techniques are difficult to find and follow through with, packing lightly for trips is a common skill.
What kind of considerations do you take while packing?
It depends upon where we're going, so you always have to think about the weather. Also, depending upon what kind of activities we're going to do while we're traveling. So, usually you have to kind of run through the house, do a quick list, throw all your things together, and then you have to try to figure out how to fit it all in your suitcase. Another way to save is, of course, a check-on. So certain items that you really need, essentials, I'll sometimes throw in a small bag and then just have one carry-on.
When cutting back through packing, it is ideal to organize before you begin. It will conclude in spending less on baggage and it will make it much simpler to get around during the trip. However, some people don't mind the extra equipment.
Well, I consider the place I'm going, what the weather's going to be like, how many days I'm going to be there, what functions I'm going to, things like that.
Do you try to pack lightly to save money?
Well, my aim is to pack lightly, but I normally don't. I normally pack very, very heavy.
According to the article entitled Pack Light to Save Money, Time, Energy, the Environment, and Your Back, the more people pack, the more problems they will face throughout the trip.
Just keeping the limit and trying to pretty much maybe just add a jacket for the evening, not a full set of clothes, something like that.
And then another thing we look for real close is when traveling this far by airplane, we certainly want to compact as we possibly can, and also not go over our 50-pound limit as far as Southwest Airlines is concerned.
Whether you're driving down the road or traveling to another country, packing is an essential part of your trip. It requires organization, planning, and a lot of time. Yet, it is still one of the quickest and easiest ways to save some cash. Live from Orlando, for GCTV, I'm Mark Toon.
We're trying to keep mobile also and not let up on the stories, but it's hot here in Orlando, so we're going to take a short break. But don't go too far because Drake Hicks will tell you why he can't move on this trip.
Then when we come back, our reporters will take a look at what you like. From phones to cars, if you have it on the go, they'll let you know what you should look for.
While certain things cause people to get up and move, fear is something that often immobilizes people. I, for one, have antidiophobia, which is the fear that a duck's always following me. It's true, look it up. And I set out around Orlando to see what kind of fears other people have. Let's go. Do you guys have any fears? Just
chickens. I'm afraid of chickens.
Chickens? Really? That's a first. What happens?
Okay, well, they're beady eyes, and, well, I pointed out my nose, but their beady eyes and their pecks and their mannerisms scare me. Just the bird-like qualities of them terrify me.
Man, no one wants to be interviewed. Oh, it's happening! Ah! Just what are you scared of in general?
Talking on a microphone scares me tremendously.
I'm afraid of cotton balls.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Growing old.
I knew this would happen. They're after our children, too. Do you have any unusual fears?
I'm really terrified of mayonnaise. Like, I really hate it, and I don't touch it or anything, but I think that's the only thing.
Not really. I just think that it's really stressful being here, and yeah.
Do you have any fears? Like, are you scared of anything in particular?
No.
So today we learned a little bit about what immobilizes people, and apparently some people, have a fear of being on camera. For GCTV, I'm Drake Hicks.
Jessica, I'm getting pretty tired of walking around here. I mean, I know that you think my truck is old and ugly, but I'm missing it right about now.
That truck is ugly.
I love that truck.
I'm sure you're not the only one that loves vehicles for irrational reasons. And we had two reporters today who tried to find out what makes you tick when it comes to America's premier way to get around.
The raw power of a truck, the fuel efficiency of a car, or the spacious seating of a van. Many people have to make this decision every day and have their own opinions on what is more important.
We decided on a minivan for my family. We have 3 little girls, and a minivan was appropriate, but we really looked at the Honda and Toyotas, a lot to do with comfort, reliability, long-term reliability, the resale value over the long term.
I chose my car because it's a lot of fun to drive. I get good gas mileage, and I had driven an SUV, but I wanted to change, and so I have a really small car now.
Nowadays, there are many different factors to consider when buying a car. From the environment and pollution to job-related uses and family, you have to consider all the aspects of your life before making this decision.
Well, space for any families, space is definitely an issue. I know that there's a lot of SUVs in this country that for us, we looked at the SUVs and decided that that it was the portability, being able to drop down seats, being able to make more space to move things as well as move people was our biggest factor when we were deciding on which vehicle.
Probably the most important feature to me is safety, but also, like I said, the fun factor and resale value is important, and especially now, gas.
Whether it be a Mazda or a Honda, we all have our main reasons for buying a car. And no matter what type of car you have, fuel prices are hurting everyone.
I personally am looking at what's going to be happening in the future for our family, and considering we probably still will end up going with another minivan, but certainly whether it's fuel efficient is going to be a big factor. It gets more and more as the gas prices go up.
I think people are going to really think about what they purchase now. I think they're going to go for the most gas-efficient car they can get, and that still meets all their needs.
Live from Orlando, for GCTV, I'm Cody Byer.
Really, the cars here aren't that different than back in Graves County, although I did see 5 people speed through here on a Segway earlier.
Those things are crazy and efficient. With gas like it is, those people are probably feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Obviously, everyone can't follow their lead by wheeling themselves around the city, and so public transportation steps, or rather drives, in.
And why did you take public transportation?
I would prefer to take public transportation. The issue is generally public transportation doesn't go where you want to go at the time that you want to go. So if the country had better public transportation systems, I think more people would take them.
As more and more people start to take public transportation instead of buying gas, how will this affect gas stations?
I wish that we had more options around Graves County. After all, it is great for the environment. The only options we have around Graves County are the Paducah Area Transit System, or PATS, and Greyhound buses. I don't think they take you to Dublin, though.
One thing that we haven't talked about yet that mobilizes people into action is something that stays very close to most of the students at GC. It has been said that most teenagers feel naked without their phone. Phones are one of the most revolutionary inventions in the past decade, and they're something that pushes people to go places that they might not have without this little backup. Like cars, our reporters wanted to see what features phones now offer and what sort of power to roam they can give you.
I have an iPhone, so it has like FaceTime, which is like video chatting, and like internet and stuff like that.
Smartphones are a constantly evolving technology. From the first BlackBerry to the Android, the iPhone, and the brand new Dell Streak.
It's really beneficial. I get all my emails. I'm able to schedule all my appointments and stay in touch with everything that I need to stay in touch with.
The power of a smartphone allows us to book flights, pay taxes, and it even allows us to stay connected to our friends and family no matter the distance.
I own a smartphone because I manage an electric utility in New Mexico. It allows me to stay in contact with my employees. Our attorneys, our consultants deal with business that I need to deal with, while I'm out of the office and away on business like this. So,
as revolutionary as this technology is, there's always a downside.
Too many people get your cell phone number and your email address, so you're constantly receiving phone calls while you're trying to conduct business away.
But do the pros outweigh the cons?
All in all, for me, it's a benefit managing a company, so there's really not necessarily a disadvantage to it other than just having to deal with probably too much information.
As the years go on, smartphones are packing more power and are getting a lot more compact. What kind of technology will they try and put in a smartphone next?
Since like all the movies are 3D now, there's probably going to be like something 3D about them.
As always, mobile technology is constantly moving. Tomorrow, today's technology will be obsolete. Live in Orlando for GCTV, I'm Matt Chappell.
And if you didn't know, we also produce GCTV all on this smartphone.
That's a lie. But I can't lie to you, GC, so let me tell you that I had a blast bringing this to you back home.
The weather's been nice here, but we're pretty sure it's a tease of what's to come in our summer, so don't worry, we'll be back soon.
Now that we've taken care of you all, we're going to do some relaxing at the pool. Live from Orlando, this has been a GCTV special. See you at home.